It's nuts. It's nuts.
Yeah,
I think it's hilarious. Strange. I think it's hilarious, and I think it's strange. I don't know what they're gonna tell him. I was very stern with the brother who told the body member and the other brother who talked to me. I told him do not mess with my family brothers because I will lose my Christian resolve. I will lose that personality, and I will forget that I will forget, and then we'll have a problem. Then we'll have a problem. You won't have no reason to. You won't have no way. No way not to kick me out of here.
Wow.
It's you don't attack my family. I have a beautiful family. I love them to death. I'm very close to my family, especially my mother and my father. And they mean the world to me.
Of course, they conducted Christian, but with you, you don't want to lose your Christian.
Well, yeah, and remember, Jonny, I can't tell you what to do, but let's say, you have to undergo some type of tribulation. Are you still there?
I'm here.
Yeah, I was just saying.
A bit of a cold.
Oh, no, I was just going to say, Jonny, let's say you have to undergo a little bit of tribulation now, but down the road, you always have to remember how things will work out. But especially, you got to watch out for your health right now. I mean, there's people that will come pick you up. You need to get picked up.
Yeah, I've talked to people like that. I have people who are offering me their homes, if I needed a place to stay and stuff like that. Which I think I might have to go up on that because I think from the beginning part of me leaving, my parents I think they won't be a part of it. From the beginning phase, I know they won't be a part of it. But I told I was very close to breaking down yesterday when I was talking to my parents, and I was telling them, I don't feel at home here anymore. I don't feel what I really wanted to say was I don't feel Jehovah's here anymore. I feel Jehovah has left here a long time ago.
Yeah, you can leave without being disfellowshipped, can't you?
Yeah, I can leave without being disfellowshipped, but I'm thinking, like I'm saying, I think that they're going to try to set me up before.
Oh, then just leave right away.
I really think that.
Before you do anything that you'll regret.
Yeah, they thought something has happened even in the shower. Okay, something happened in the shower recently, where a sister. This has never happened in my time here. Okay. I'm not gonna say how long I've been here because I don't want to narrow it down.
Right.
A sister walked in while I was in the shower. Okay, but thank Jehovah that I had my pants up, and a towel. And I was just drying my hair, But they never come in, never, until at least 10, 11 o'clock. I take a shower right after morning worship or in the middle, the night before, Yeah,
where are your showers located? In your apartment?
No. We call it the guys' room. We have our own floor, and so we all share showers. But this sister, again, she's very young, very attractive, just pops in.
Wow.
Well, was she there to clean it?
Yeah, she was supposedly there to clean it, but she didn't have nothing on. Like she had regular clothes, she had her regular stuff on, and all her cleaning supplies was outside.
What do you mean she didn't have anything on?
She didn't have like cleaning supplies. Like usually they're ready for war when they're cleaning.
Like where they wear like cleaning apron or something?
Yeah,
or?
They wear a cleaning apron. They wear gloves. They wear something for their hair. Because of the cleaning solvents and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But she didn't have nothing. She just had regular Kingdom Hall clothes. Regular hall clothes.
Oh, I see.
She just jumped in there, and she's very attractive, and she knows that I'm very attractive as well. So it's insanity. It's just like it's bad, you know. It's like they're trying to bribe me with sisters to stay, you know.
Well, you know, it might be a good idea for you to leave before something accidentally happens, even if you get put in a situation that has nothing to do with you, and they can tell you that, you know, they can say, hey, you were part of it or something, or just anything. I mean, but
not only that, they might try to pin something.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. They invited me to this gathering, right? This past 2 weekends. This gathering where we didn't know that these sisters were underage and they were drinking. I didn't go to any of them, but other brothers were. Like the main point was the brothers were inviting me to go. You know, like you gotta go, it's gonna be fun and whatever. These underage sisters were drinking, and something happened. They got in trouble. 2 of the Bethelites were the fellowship sent home.
Yeah, wow.
Okay, so I wouldn't be surprised if they tried, you know, they're trying to try to set me up, pin me, and that's it. You know, all it takes is one sister saying he touched me, and that's it. You know?
Yeah. Well, maybe they don't want you to go until they can pin you with something. Then they
exactly, because then they can say he's just disgruntled.
Right. Then they can kick you out.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because if they can, that's a really good point. If they can so-called, pin you for something, or frame you for something,
and they can say, well, you know what, he's just a disgruntled guy. He did this and this and that. So you don't have to listen to him. You know, he's a bad guy. You know.
Right.
And then that's
why maybe you should leave while you can.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Before that happens.
Yeah. Leave before
I
they
think
can
they're trying to set you up.
I also want to say that there's been a lot of good posts that I've seen out there. A lot of support that I do like. But there's been some unkind things that have been said in these posts, and I would like to address that really quickly.
Sure.
There was a sister on named Mary, and some people were saying that we were having some sort of relationship, like inappropriate.
I saw those posts.
Yeah, that we were having some.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, inappropriate sexual relationship, and it went up to that, and she's like a mother figure, so I would really appreciate if you guys would, if the people out there who are listening, who are posting, if they could just lay off of that, because this sister came on here fresh out of the box like I did, and she just bared her soul, and she and she didn't deserve that, and on top of that, she read it and she was disturbed by it, and I read it, and I said, this sister, she's like a mother. She's like a mother to a lot of people, and she's a very nice sister, and she's, I don't know if they thought maybe she was very super young or something, but, it's not what they think it is. It's really not. They thought that I was a plant that I was put in here by the society to listen to Rick's stuff. I was asking Rick about this stuff for a while already. If he can vouch for me that I asked him the second that the elders asked me to start doing this about, what can I do to get out, and
Johnny, tonight during the conference call that you missed, and everybody that called in agreed that they felt like you and Mary were legit. In fact, I knew Mary was because I had called her, because I learned about her, and I had a conversation with her even before she came on Rick's program. So anyway, so I know.
So for the majority,
you don't have to worry about it. There's going to be always a bunch of jerks.
Yeah.
Just because they left the organization.
I just wanted to again, I'm sorry, brothers and sisters, when my phone does go out, it means that my minutes are done and stuff like that. So please forgive me. if you guys do need to find my information, again, they're all, like I said, it's all fake information. So if you need to know, Rick has it all.
Gotcha.
And it's all fake information that you can get in contact with me with through all that, and it's that's how it is. And
keep in contact. Keep in contact with either Mary or Rick or who you feel comfortable with.
Yeah, I definitely will.
Let them know what's going on.
These are, like they said, the Bible says these are critical times, but these are critical times, hard to deal with, and they're not outside. They're right in the door. They're not out there. They're in here.
Yeah. Wow.
We know.
These are treacherous times, and these are horrible times. The brothers are being chastised. The brothers who are anointed are being violated. There's no other word to say, but they're being violated. I had recently, I didn't know that a friend of mine's grandmother is anointed, and she was crying on her knees saying she does not know why everyone is talking down to her when before the change that happened during 2000, 2001, how the anointed were basically, they were put up there, and now people are saying, oh, you're not supposed to be anointed, you shouldn't say this, you shouldn't talk like that. And they won't talk to her. They 90%. I wasn't surprised if 70% of the anointed brothers are now looked down upon in the congregations, as radicals or heretics or bad association.
Well, actually, they have no voice because the elders are given more of authority over them.
And they shouldn't. They shouldn't. The ones, Brother Farron said it very much very well the way he put it, and the Insight book puts it very well when he goes over that. They say that when you become anointed, the Spirit begins to teach you,
Mm-hmm.
And it begins to guide you and teach you, right?
Sure.
So he said it very, very well, and the Insight book brings it very well about that Spirit teaching them. So wouldn't you want someone who's being taught directly by the Spirit, but instead of just the body, getting direction from human beings, instead of literally getting Jehovah's active force to direct them? Would that be that you would want? I mean, that
that's right. And why would they need the governing body telling them what they need to believe?
Exactly.
As far as doctrine, telling them everything that they need to do and obey.
Exactly. We are not dogs. We do not go through hoops. I'm very tired of the things that they're putting on these older brothers, and I love some of them because I grew up with them, and I remember there's one I know who she has pictures of her when she had the billboard signs on each side of her when she was growing up. She's in her 90s and she had the billboard and everything. The end is near. She has the recordings of the brothers when they used to be in Madison Square Garden. She has literally old, you can't really consider video because they're horrible quality, but they had the time where the first apostates would come up and they would rush the stage, and the brothers back then, they had no restraint. They would beat up the apostates. They would throw them to the ground and stuff like that, and they would pull them out and stuff like that. And that was back then. And she has even the original phonograph, And
wow.
she's like trash. This sister, she's a diamond mine full of knowledge, a gold mine full of knowledge, spiritual knowledge. She's your own personal tree, of knowledge, and all you have to do is pick, and you get so much from her. And these are the type of people that you want. I don't want a man. I don't want a man who compared to these people who have Jehovah's active force teaching them. And if you really want to go into it, if you go to the reference Bible and you read it, the active force that teaches the anointed are the same active force that gave Solomon his wisdom, Because Solomon, remember, the Bible said that Solomon didn't have regular wisdom. Bibles, most translators said Solomon had the actual knowledge of God.